What is up, everybody? It is Wick here, and I've got another bolo item for you. Actually, a couple, technically probably about three, but we're going to take a look at these. These are things you can find at yard sales, estate sales, thrift stores, stuff like that. And I don't think a lot of people know about these or realize that they're worth some money. I've done a couple videos like this and people seem to like them. If you haven't seen those, make sure you check them out. So the first item here are these Decon bait pellets. They're traps, bait traps for mice and rats. These are a discontinued product, I believe, because they may just be unsafe. I don't know for sure. That's something you may want to look into. But they seem to be selling great on eBay. And I've learned about these products a few years ago. So anytime I'm at an estate sale or a yard sale, I keep an eye out for these. These can be in someone's garage. They can be in a basement. I could definitely see a situation where you go into a basement or a garage at an estate sale and there's just a box of these things sitting here. And you can kind of see how much they're selling for here. A box of 4 3-ounce bait trays, $95. You got $89, and these are all sold listings. I have found one pack before. It wasn't the 4-pack, it was just one of the single packs. I believe it sold for around $25. It was a few years ago. Here's one that sold for $198.99. So just like the soap I talked about in another video, discontinued items, people are still looking for them and they'll pay up. Looks like there's two different box styles, a green and a yellow. I believe they're probably just the same product. What's great about this kind of item is it stands out. Now that you've seen this box, it'll stick in your mind. And one day when you're out at a garage sale or somewhere, you'll see this and it'll be like, oh yeah, that happens to me all the time. When I learn about a new product, I feel like so many times within like a week, I find a product I learn about just because not knowing about this and walking around, your mind would just pass by it. But now that you know about it, it won't. Yeah, very consistent sellers. There's two that sold for $46. So definitely some money in these things if you happen to find them. Next, we have some video game related things. This is from Ultima Online. It is a old online game from the 90s. I was heavily into this in the late 90s. It was an experience for me. It's something that me and my friends experienced, and it's something that you can't experience again just because of it. It's a product of its time. Everybody was kind of forced to play in this online game if you wanted to play in an online game because there wasn't very many options. Now there's hundreds and hundreds. So it made this environment where people could basically live an online life. And I actually used to sell the gold and in-game items on eBay back in the day when I played this. You could have real estate, and I sold, I had a tower, I sold it for like $500. Anyone that played back then, they know what I'm talking about. It was an awesome experience. A lot of the games came with these cloth maps, certain editions. You can see they're worth quite a bit. And there's some other Ultima Online stuff you should probably keep an eye out for. Some of the old boxes here, like the Charter Edition, and even sets that aren't Ultima Online, because there's an Ultima series. I think it goes up to like 8, 9, 10. I'm not even sure, but there's maps in that as well that will sell. There's also a paper map, which is I have the paper map from my original set, and I'm actually looking for a frame because I want to frame that. Paper maps can sell for about $50. There you see there's an Ultima 4 map that sold for about $25. That's not even from Ultima Online. So just keep an eye out for the Ultima stuff, but more than anything, maybe keep an eye out for this public beta test CD. Most beta test and demo disc and stuff like that are not worth anything because you cannot use them after the beta period. You can only use this for about 2 or 3 months. Back in 1997, a very brief history on the game. They couldn't get proper funding. The EA Electronic Arts did not really believe in the idea of an online game like this at the time. So they released these public beta tests and they charged $5 a piece for them. Most of the time when you're in a beta test, it's free. They did this to raise funds, and the response was just extremely positive, and that was why Electronic Arts decided to fund them more and get everything going. I could talk about this game for literally days. This right here is, you're not going to find any histories on eBay. They're pretty rare, even though a lot of them were made and released. The problem is people just threw them away because they were worth nothing after like a few months in 1997. But there's a lot of history. There's a lot of hardcore original UO players, me being one of them. I did see on some forums where one of these sold for about $600, $700. If I was to find one of these, I probably just wouldn't really sell it for anywhere less than $1,000. That being said, if anyone happens to have this CD, I would pay you $500 cash because I want a copy to frame and hang in my office, because it's definitely something that means a lot to me. I don't think it means more than $500 more to me though, so that's about as much as I'd want to pay. I honestly think I might have one of these somewhere, just, you know, when I'm moved out of my parents and stuff like that, stuff gets moved around. And I know my friends, one of my friends or me or somebody had one of these. Who knows where it's at? Maybe I'll come across it one day. This is something that you could just find randomly in a thrift store, a yard sale, anywhere really. But yeah, I would even be interested in one of those cloth maps at an okay price. I already got a paper one. But yeah, if anyone has any of that stuff, let me know. I will buy it from you if it's in great condition. There's also other beta test CDs for Ultima Online for future editions, and the game is still happening right now. It's just not worth playing, and I'm not going to go into why that is, but they're still worth about $25. This is the one you want, the original one from 1997. So there it is. Those are some items that I think you should keep an eye out for when you're out sourcing. You may not have known about them. A lot of people, there's so many video games and stuff, if you come across a disc like this and you're just like, oh yeah, beta test CD, not really worth anything. And if you did a search on eBay, the solds and completed, you wouldn't find this because no one has posted it, maybe because they don't know it's valuable, and there's people that will pay hundreds of dollars for this. But that's going to do it for the video. I really appreciate you watching. If you could hit the like button on your way out, I would really appreciate that as well. Be subscribed to see all my reselling videos. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, flipping_junk. Don't forget to ring that bell. This has been Wick. Till next time.